Hello, neighbors, and welcome to the Pulse, Lake Wildwood's news and information program. I'm Paul Town, and this is the news for the week starting Friday, May 29th. Let's start with a message from our General Manager, Brian Cox.
Greetings, Lake Wildwood, and this is our inaugural General Manager's report on Channel 95, coming from my backyard with all the turkeys and pheasant, but kind of fun. And 97 degrees, may I remind you, so Paul's been so gracious to make sure that we do this outside in the heat. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the health advisory warning that we received on the E. coli last Friday prior to the holiday. I just want everybody to know that this health advisory is the same health advisory that came out a year ago, and it's a standard practice for the health department to just put out a warning to not let your children or elderly or anybody drink lake water. I know many of us thought that it was targeted at Lake Wildwood, but it really wasn't. It's a common sense advisory, and as we've had the E. coli outbreak in 2017, this case is still pending. So until there's any resolution on the case, we will continue to get an annual advisory that just simply states don't drink the water. Water activities are perfectly safe. Swimming is perfectly safe. Any water sports, water skiing, tubing, whatever you want to do to enjoy it, and many people have done that and still do it, and there's no outbreak since. So please enjoy the lake and get the fullest out of it that you possibly can. Just make sure that you tell the young ones and such to not drink the water, as you wouldn't drink the water in an alpine lake as well. We certainly don't want you to drink the water here at the same time. The update on the COVID and Lake Wildwood amenities, as currently we're in level 2 with Nevada County, and level 2 has allowed us to open up the restaurants and food and beverage. It's allowed us to open up golf. We can play a little bit of tennis. We still have restrictions of non-family members playing tennis and large groups congregating. The simple rule on the large groups congregating is we can't have anybody congregate in groups of more than 10. So if you have 10 or less, go ahead and do so. As an association, we're not going to run around, and we'll remind people of social distancing, but we don't have any sort of legal authority to impose any sort of fines or anything. So I'm really asking the community to everybody stick together, practice social distancing, practice the recommendations that you see on any news channel. Wear your masks where you feel comfortable wearing your masks. Keep your distance and enjoy each other, and just remember that we're all going through this thing at the same time and together. I expect us to be going up to the next level with less restrictions, most likely within the next couple weeks. I'm hoping so. What that might do is you'll see a little bit more action in the bar. We might actually have walk-up in food and beverage. Dustin may increase some of his hours of operation. I'm asking some racket sports to come up with their next level of safety precautions, so we can anticipate going to the next level. As you know, there are no large gatherings, as I previously mentioned. That is directly affecting our 4th of July celebration. Many weddings that we've had, 2 weddings that we've had canceled, and future weddings are putting on hold. Most golf tournaments. So it's had a real impact on the community, but these are all mandated by the state and Gavin Newsom, that there are no outside concerts, fairs, festivals, races, rodeos, you name it, and that up to includes Lake Wildwood and any of our activities inside. So until we see some sort of movement, we'll abide by the governor's mandates and have to follow the law. On our general manager's report, I thought I would kind of skim through a little bit. I won't read it. It'll sound kind of dry if I sit there and read all my writing. But we did open up food and beverage this last week, and it was very successful. Dustin's running food and beverage with a minimal crew of supervisors and managers. Revenue was strong, and we are looking forward to having a little bit more revenue this week in food and beverage. The to-go pickup went super well. and people were thrilled. So I think we're going to see a little bit more action. So if you want to get some food and take it home, please do call Dustin, and somebody, Dustin, Andy, Krista, somebody will answer the phone, take your order, bring it to your car when you show up, and it should be a fabulous meal. So I encourage you all to take advantage of that. Our golf program has been very, very successful this month when we opened it up. We are pleased to tell you that we have averaged over $220 a day more revenue on our golf this month than we did last month, day on day, comparing a Monday to a Monday, a Tuesday to a Tuesday. So we're $4,000 ahead in revenue. And the funny thing is we didn't allow guests to play. So we've done that all with in-house golfers. Some guests went out in isolated groups, but I just want you to know that we are now officially opening the golf course to guests. We're going to ask all guests to ride in their own cart, if that's possible. So please call ahead when you make reservations for your guests and make sure we do have vehicles ready for them. And that would make your day of play much pleasurable. Some of the other things I'd like to remind you of, a lot of people are asking us about the two lawsuits that are pending. What's the status of those? So these are things that I would like to read to you because I don't want to skip over any details. But we have a Dilbeck versus Lake Wildwood, and Caitlin Higgins from the Lewis and Brisbois law firm is our attorney. And basically the status of that lawsuit is as the motions for summary judgment are continued on the court's own motion to June 19th, 2020. And the reason for the continuance is due to the reduction in services related to the coronavirus. In other words, the courts have closed down too, so they cannot operate. No further discovery or depositions are being sought at this time. And the environment for a positive judgment is strong for Lake Wildwood, as the state of California has adopted a pretty conservative position on short-term rentals and are supportive of controls in this area. The second big one that we were talking about earlier is the E. coli, Sean Lures of the Lavangie Law Group. The depositions scheduled have been delayed because of the shutdowns of the coronavirus as well. But once things loosen up, they will be taking a number of depositions, including the plaintiffs, Dr. Griffiths, the county's consultant, and some of the doctors who treated the children who were most sick. The depositions, along with our motion for summary judgment, will be filed in early summer. The time lapse and delays will not only help us be ready for trial, but to support mediation efforts. There have not been formal settlement conversations yet, but counsel will be proposing mediation. Counsel's best guess is that we will mediate this matter mid-summer. Those are the official status updates of both of those cases. Our fire fuel management operation, we are beginning to do some roadside clearance of the 10, 10, 15. That is the 10 feet from the fog line, 10 feet up, and then anything 15 feet over the roadway. Currently, we're going to concentrate on major intersections. And anybody who lives at the intersection of Lake Forest and Chaparral, Wildflower and Lake Wildwood, Thistle Loop and Wildflower, Chaparral and Warbler, and Chaparral and Swallow, we will be getting those intersections first. They seem to be most congested and also will be part of the major evacuation plan. We want to make sure those are clear. And then we'll go back to our regular schedule of road clearance, starting at Lake Wildwood Drive at the beginning of the gate and working our way around. More details are in this week's e-bits, and they have been posted in numerous other e-bits before. You can also get online, and I strongly encourage everybody to get online. Practice it, bop around on there, open it up, push buttons. It's not going to break you, it won't hurt, it won't crash your computer, but it's really important that you get used to getting to our website. All the information that we give you, all the information that you need, and all the information that you thought you didn't need but was there, and then all of a sudden you decided you needed is going to be there, and anything else you want to do about Lake Wildwood. So please get in there and experiment with that website. What else? Security, a couple reminders. We are getting a lot of dog play in the parks. Please, I know, I'm a dog guy myself. Love to take the dog out, throw the ball, let him jump in the water. Unfortunately, dogs are not allowed in the parks, on a leash or off a leash. And unfortunately, we're getting a lot because everybody's at home taking their dogs in the park. Yes, there's problems, there's waste problems, it's okay to pick up your dog poop, put it in the bag. I appreciate that, but that bag needs to go home with you. It doesn't get thrown on the grass or in the bushes. So please, poop to poop home is what I'm asking you to do, because it just is not right that we have to go by and pick up the little bags. And then fishermen, we're getting a lot of fishermen, even though dogs are not allowed in the park. Dogs, if they are in the park, I don't want to have them get sick or injured. Fishermen, I'm asking you, please. I'm a fisherman too, an avid fisherman. My fly fishing gear is hanging in the back of my car at all times, just in case I get that jonesing feeling and got to hit the water. Or I see a caddisfly or two bash up against my car window. I know it's the hatch and I'm going to go hit the water. Pick up your lines and pick up your hooks and pick up your trash. We're starting to see a lot more of this stuff going on in our lake and around the edges, and we really don't want dogs or animals to, even if it's a beaver or a raccoon or a squirrel, to take a bite out of that fish hook thinking it's just food, and next thing you know, you've hooked yourself a squirrel, and you're not here to help it out. So we appreciate anything you can do to pack out your fishing line, pack out your power bait, pack out your worms, and help us keep the parks clean. Other than that, that's kind of it for my quick introductory inaugural report. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to email me. I answer all my emails. Nothing goes unanswered, I assure you. And if it does, email me again and we'll find out why it didn't get answered to, because sometimes we do direct it to the appropriate person. Other than that, it's a pleasure to do this, pleasure to be here. And I'm glad I'm here at Lake Wildwood and couldn't want to be any other place on the planet. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian, for your report and all you do for our community. In board news, the planning meeting will be June 10th at 1:30, location to be announced. Also, the board will be sponsoring a Meet the Candidates night on June 17th, with the location also to be announced. Defensible space advisory visits are up and running again. This is a good time to schedule a visit and get some advice on what you can do to increase your defensible space. Remember, these are only advisory visits. The Fire Safe Council in Nevada County has received funding to hold green waste drops in 3 locations. One of the locations will be the Penn Valley Rodeo Grounds. The drop-off will run Sunday through Tuesday through June. The hours of operation will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please refer to the Fire Safe Council's website, rufiresafe.com, for further information or to schedule a defensible space visit. There's also a great need for volunteers. Thank you for your support. Burn day permits are now required from the fire department. To obtain a residential burn permit, the process is to go to the county website, burnpermit.fire.ca.gov, and fill out the form, print it, and watch a 3-minute video. The phone number to call in order to check for a burn day is 274-7928. Listen for the status in our area. Remember that not all days are burn days. Only those burn days listed on the message are approved for burning. It is extremely important to follow proper rules and safety measures when burning. Burn permits are not available from the EMO office. It's assessment time, and if you'd like to move to quarterly payments, please complete the quarterly installment plan contract and return it to administration office no later than June 1st. The contract can be emailed to Audrey Krieger at audreyk@lwwa.org, mailed to 11255 Cottontail Way, Penn Valley, or fax to 432-2044. All amenity payments are now online: golf, golf cart, tennis, pickleball, etc. You will find the link to on the members page at lwwa.org. Annual boat renewals will be billed separately. Please follow the instructions on the statement. Boat decals will be mailed to you. Please allow 2 weeks processing time. It's time to break out your weed eater. By rule, grasses should be no taller than 4 inches. I'll be doing my yard for the second time and final time, I hope, tomorrow. Here's Dustin with a clubhouse update.
Good afternoon, fellow community members. This is Dustin, the Director of Food and Beverage here at the Oaks Clubhouse in Lake Wildwood. We have the first week down in the books for our reopening, phase 1, and it was very successful. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday dinners were completely sold out for our reservation-only service. Lunches were not as busy. We were accepting some walk-ins, and I know this is a transition period, so we're all kind of getting our bearings right now. We appreciate everybody's patience when they were coming in and understanding. I now have a new appreciation for grocery store workers and the nurses and doctors out there wearing their masks regularly. It can be very taxing. We are changing our gloves after every transaction. I went through about 200 gloves on my own just in a day. So while I hate to see the waste, we definitely want to be as safe as possible. We have been utilizing a lot of plastic products to ensure, again, safety and disposables. This has been the guidance from the health department. I've spoken to Amy, the director of Nevada County Health Department, to talk through guidelines, and we have regular communication. One area that continues to come up are events and catering. So we know that we have people that have scheduled events for the future, June, July, August. Unfortunately, we still don't have any guidance on whether or not we will be able to host those events. Andy, our event manager, has all of those events on the calendar, but again, we're just awaiting some guidance from the next phase of reopening. Starting this week, we're going into phase 1.5, I'm calling it, for the clubhouse. We are no longer requiring reservations for lunch. We recommend them, we encourage them, but we are accepting walk-ins. So currently for lunch, we're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tuesday and Wednesday, our hours are from 11:30 to 2:30 for lunch. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, our lunches are from 11:30 to 4 o'clock right now. Then we have an hour window where we start setting up for dinners. Dinners are currently Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 5 p.m. to, I want to say, about 7:30. Last call for food around 7:45. As mentioned, we basically sold out last week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday dinners were very successful. We appreciate everybody's patience as we're continuing to wipe off all the rust and get back into normal operations here, or what is somewhat normal. Currently, if you want to make any reservations for the Oaks Clubhouse, you will call 530-432-1155. We have 2 lines available for you to call on. We do not have a voicemail system set up. We just didn't want a backlog of reservation orders, and we're very limited on our staff right now. So again, please have patience with that. To-go ordering is also 530-432-1155. You can make to-go orders all day long. When I say all day long, I mean 11:30 to about 6:45 on Tuesday and Wednesday. To-go ordering on Thursday, Friday, Saturday is 11:30. Last order we ask 7:45. So the curbside pickup has been very successful. We do ask that you provide a credit card over the phone just to help limit contact. If you cannot do that, we can still process a transaction in-house. Right now, it's, again, navigating through a new norm. We are looking to open up the bar area, the tables at the bar, not the physical bar. We still are not allowed to do that. But we are looking to open indoors in the second week of June. So you'll start to see a couple more servers come back. And then again, we're just navigating through this, and we'll continue to open up more zones when we feel it's appropriate. So again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at dustinw@lwwa.org. You can also find any hours of operation and the phone number on our website, lwwa.org, or you can join the group page on Facebook called the Oaks Clubhouse Lake Wildwood. I send updated posts there regularly, and you can find a lot of information there as well. And that's all I have for you. Thanks for joining.
Many thanks to Dustin and his crew for all they do for our community. In golf news, here's Bill Hamilton with a course update.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's good to see everybody back on the golf course again. The clubhouse is now opening up for some food and beverage, which is always a good thing. But the golf course is in great shape. We had some late season rains that really kind of helped the cause. The one thing ongoing is the mainline construction that's in place. The crew has made it through the back nine, and they're now today, as we speak, rolling down the ninth hole. One thing to the golfers, I really appreciate you, giving us the luxury of closing one hole while they're working on it. A, for them to move along in a timely manner, and then B, for everybody's own personal safety. Challenges that way is they're putting in these new main lines, when we also have our old decrepit main lines in place and wires. So it is kind of a mess to keep the old system going and keeping the grass green while the new system is transitioning in. We are looking forward to the day when this is all in and we can operate everything off of iPad. But for right now, you can expect for the month of June, the main lines will be going in the front nine. So the crew has told me that they're going to be working some extra overtime to expedite everything. So we're looking forward to that. Once the main lines are done through the month of June, the laterals will go in, and that's the 2-inch pipe that will go across the fairways, tie into the main line, and that's where these sprinklers will be attached. So the challenge there, that will be probably the month of July. So the challenge there is keeping the old heads going as long as we need to, and then transitioning to the new system. So we got our work cut out for us this summer. As you can see, end of May here, it's over 100 already. So it'll probably be the latest, hottest summer on record, of course. So we got our hands full going forward, but we're going to make it. So enjoy, come out and play, and I'll see you on the golf course.
Thanks, Bill. Next week, Jim Knight will give us a Pro Shop update. Good news! Meadow Park Bocce Club play has resumed. Weekly games are on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9 and 10 a.m. Evening games start at 6. Two-person team format due to mandated crowd guidelines. Social distancing and face mask rules apply. For more information, call Gary at 432-9059. Our security update comes from our security manager, Pete Newell.
Well, greetings once again. Pete Newell, your security manager here at Lake Wildwood. We managed to get through the Memorial Day weekend relatively unscathed. We were extremely busy in the gates. The phone was ringing off the hook, and the cars were stacking up. But that's pretty normal for the holiday weekend. And our staff did get everything done, and everybody came in okay. In the field, in the parks, we were very quiet. We certainly had activity in both the parks and on the lake, but we had no serious incidents to report. We did work heavily on parking permit violations, which we are instructed to do by the association vigorously this time of year. And we did come up with 45 violations throughout the weekend in the various parks for permits. We realize that right now, with admin still being mostly closed, it can be difficult for residents to get their annual guest passes. They can get them through admin with a phone call or an email, and they will be mailed out to them. But security has stepped up and decided that we're going to assist with that for the short future, and we're going to have those available at the main gate only, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., just like when the main offices would be open. So if you need your 2 annual guest parking passes, stop by the main gate during the week, during the day, and we will be able to take care of you and get you those permits. In addition, over the weekend, we did give out 5 warning violations to people with dogs in the park. We seem to be having a hard time with that one. People just claim that they didn't know and that they can have their dogs. I'm sorry, dogs have never been allowed in our parks, and they are not allowed in our parks. So try to make sure that your family and guests are all aware of that. And hopefully we'll see less of it as the summer goes on. We've also had a few issues with people fishing in the marina, which we have been trying to discourage this spring and summer. We did end up with 4 formal warnings for that over the same holiday weekend. Throughout the week, we gave out 10 speeding violation notices. That's probably average. There's nothing really unusual about that for a normal week for us. Due to the COVID thing, we relaxed one of our call-in policies. In the past, we had always said that if you were calling us on the phone, you could call a guest in for only 3 days, and that if you wanted to call in a guest for up to 14 days, you had to come see us in person at one of the gates. For the last couple of months, we've allowed the 14-day call-in on the phone. Starting June 1st, we're going to go back to the regular rule and require that on the phone, you're only going to be allowed to call in for 3 days. So we hope that gives you enough time to prepare yourself. Our gates are available for walk-up traffic, and we don't see any problem with going back to that rule. The only incident that we had in the past week of significance did not occur in any of our parks. It was a home up on Pepperwood on late in the evening on Monday evening, Memorial Day itself. A resident there had a pellet gun pellet shot through a window in his front door. Nobody was seen or heard, and he doesn't have any suspects in mind. Our officer happened to be in the area anyhow and responded to the call in just moments. Talked to the resident and drove around the neighborhood. He did contact a couple of teenagers in the neighborhood that claimed that they didn't know anything about it. We're going to be checking further with some security video that one of the neighbors happens to have that might see what happened. At this point, the home is a rental and it has changed hands recently, and our best theory is this had to do with neighborhood teenagers being frustrated with each other, and the people in question that might have been the victim actually didn't live there anymore, so it may have been just a mistake. We don't think it was random. We don't think the neighborhood as a whole has anything to worry about with that kind of a problem. So with that, we'll wish you a good summer as we go forward, and talk to you next week.
I'd like to thank Pete and his officers for doing their best to keep our community safe and secure. That's news for this week. I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the Pulse's YouTube channel, home of your virtual Board of Directors meetings. Until next time, stay safe, healthy, and happy.